Hey, it's Sandy with Quilted Treasures and More. I hope you have had a great day. I am sitting here looking through my paint colors, trying to figure out what I want to paint. I've got two ornaments here. So these ornaments, as you can tell by the size of my hand, which is completely hid underneath the ornament. So I'll flip it over. There's the size of my hand. There's the ornament. So these are roughly 6.5 inches. And so I'm going to be painting these tonight. I've got one with a happy little snowman, and then I've got a nativity here. So I'm going to be working on these tonight. I actually forgot to post that I was coming on tonight. So it's just kind of been one of those weekends. My daughter's part of a dance team. So Friday night we had a dance team thing. And so you know how busy schedules go. Everything just kind of gets sort of off kilter a little bit. But hey, it's okay. We had fun Friday night. We got to go out to eat after we finished with the art walk here in Mobile. So it was a good night. It was a really good night. The girls did a great job on all of their dances. So they did several dances. And then, of course, Saturday's always a busy day. It doesn't matter if you have things planned or don't have things planned. It always seems to be a busy day. Oh, so here we are, and I'm going to be painting a couple of Christmas ornaments. So I haven't base coated these yet. I was trying to actually figure out what exactly I wanted to do. This one, I knew I wasn't going to base coat in white. And I don't know why this one thing keeps freezing up on me, but I'm going to go ahead and change this view so that way you can see what's going on and not staring at me being froze. So this one, the one with the nativity, I usually do this one. I've done a door hanger size, and it's a little bit different. I had to simplify the design a little bit for the ornament, but the door hanger size is black, and all the detail is white. And so you can do, I've seen it done the reverse where the back part is white and all the details are black, but I think I'm going to stick with the door hanger look on this ornament. So this one will be all black. Now this one, this happy little snowman, I've done him before. I actually had a paint party box that was the happy little snowman here a couple of years back. And he's got a lot of different colors to him. So we're going to work on him with a lot of colors, and then this one will be pretty simple. So let us get started. Hey, Miss Terry, I just realized I did not grab my glasses before I come over here, so I'm going to be leaned over a lot trying to read comments. Y'all forgive me if I end up butchering your comments, because I just realized I did not bring my glasses. Okay, let's see. I'm going to start with white. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the snowman first. And then we'll start working on different things from there. The snowman will take longer because he has just his scarf, his buttons, his mouth, all the little details. So he's going to take just a little bit longer. Now, of course, with our ornaments, we're going to be using smaller brushes. So now I've got to find all my smaller brushes. I'm not used to using all my smaller brushes. I use some of them sometimes, but for the most part. And I'm not going to worry too much if I get into like the scarf area or the cover the buttons or anything like that. And the reason being, the buttons will be black. I'm going to paint them black. The scarf, I'm going to paint red. So even if it gets coated white, it will be okay. The nose will be orange, of course. And then the mouth will be black. So it really doesn't matter if I cover the mouth at all because it'll be blacked out. But if I happen to get some white on it, it'll be all right. Now, just to help the orange out, because sometimes orange needs a little help, I'm going to go ahead and paint the nose white. I could paint the scarf white, but I think I'm going to just try going with it on the red, just straight, because I'm going to do a red scarf, and put some stripes or polka dots, one of the two. I haven't really decided. I keep going back and forth on that one. So may do one or the other. Haven't decided yet. So I'm going to put one more coat of white on my little snowman here. So projects around the crafting table this week have been, had door hangers going on. And we've cut some more door hangers. I've still got a couple of fall door hangers sitting over here. I've got more Christmas door hangers, so there'll be more Christmas being shown. And then, let's see. The shirts came in from the Momster t-shirt drop last weekend. So those are, I haven't let everybody know yet that ordered, but if y'all are watching, your t-shirts are ready. I'll be contacting you in the morning. I'm not going to do it tonight because it'll be late, but I'll contact you in the morning about delivery. So, or pickup actually. So I'll contact y'all about pickup in the morning. So, you know what? I'm going to paint this up here white, the top of this ornament. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back with the metallic silver and go over, or I could do metallic gold. No, I'm going to do silver. The reason why I'm going to do silver is because there's going to be blue in the background, and then of course the snowman's white. So I'm going to do a silver top. Miss Terry, have you had a good week? What cool things have you been working on? Did I see posts from you this week? My week has been kind of a blur, and so I may have seen and commented on posts, and I just don't remember specifically. I know. I love these little ornaments. And basically, like this one, I know you'll recognize this is the Happy Little Snowman door hanger. You've probably seen it in the Southern Adornment shop. And so that one is the door hanger, and I just shrunk it down to 6. This is 6.5 inches because of the top to it. But there's different ones that I think are just adorable as ornaments. And this one actually, this one is one that the door hanger, somebody had showed me a picture of one they had seen, and I took the black background from that picture, but then I did the nativity different on the door hanger that I did. And you haven't painted this week? Oh no. I understand the busy part though. No time to paint. I understand that too. And as the holidays get closer, it'll be, things will get wilder, I'm sure. All right. I'm going to get a different brush because I'm going to go ahead and get this one started. So that way you can kind of see side by side as the door hangers. Good grief. I said door hanger. Now I'm going to be saying door hanger all night. As the, try to keep the two of them going together so that way you can kind of see. All right, so I'm going to get a totally different brush. Now, this one's going to look really weird at first because I'm going to do the whole thing black. And I know you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, how are you going to do the details if you do the whole thing black? Well, it's a step-by-step process. So just hang on for the process. Trust the process. I don't know if Miss Tamara started that saying or not, but I like that saying. Trust the process. I usually just, when things are going on and my daughter's going like, where are we going or what are we doing? And I'm like, look, just buckle your seatbelt and ride with me. I promise. I'll get you somewhere where you're gonna be okay and you're gonna like it. just ride with me. That's my saying. Just ride with me. So just buckle up and ride with me. The only thing about ornaments, I end up holding ornaments to paint them, just because I don't know it they want to slide around. I'm so used to door hangers and they don't move usually when you're painting them because they're size and weigh a little bit more. But I usually end up holding ornaments. So that way I can keep them from scooting all over the place, running away from me. I feel like they're an escaped child. You know, they're running away like, I'm free, I'm free. No, you're not. I'm working on you. Come back here. Oh, you love my shirt? Oh, thank you. My sister-in-law actually made this shirt. She started doing t-shirts before I did, and she lives in North Alabama. And so she has a group there that follows her, and she does t-shirts for them. I don't know how many t-shirts I have that I've gotten from her. I know fall is the biggest one because there's like, I was looking today going, oh my goodness, there's one Misty made. There's another one Misty made. So it's like 3 or 4 t-shirts that are the fall design because she kept popping up with fall designs. I was going, oh, I love that one. I got to have it. So here a few years ago, I think I bought like 3 or 4 fall t-shirts from her. So I have quite a few of those. But yeah, I like this design. When she first showed it on her little group page, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Well, I got to have that one. And then she had one that had a truck, the back of a truck, and it's got sunflowers. And it says happy fall, y'all, or it's fall. No, it says it's fall, y'all. And I like that one because I like doing the trucks. And so I was like, oh, I got to have that one. So I've got like 4 fall t-shirts that she that she did. So needless to say, I haven't really done many fall shirts for myself. I did a Halloween shirt, the Momster, which was one of the drops, and then I've got one that's actually coming up, and it's more of an inspirational t-shirt, but it does have a fall flair to it, and so I'm thinking that it's probably going to be the last of the fall because it actually can go through Thanksgiving, but then once you're into November, you start thinking about Christmas. And so I'm going to move to Christmas shirts next. So, but I have several Christmas shirts that I've gotten from my sister-in-law as well. So I'm like, man, I just got shirts everywhere now, which I'm a big t-shirt person. So I've got t-shirts, like 2 or 3 drawers full of t-shirts all the time. Yes, I need to probably go through and thin things out a little bit. But I love t-shirts. I actually was talking to a lady at church one week. We were talking about t-shirts, and she had seen my t-shirt drop, and so she was like, "Oh, I got to have that one." And she said, I think it was her daughter said something to her about, "You've got too many t-shirts." She's like, "It is not possible to have too many t-shirts." And I got tickled because I was like, oh, I am the same way. But yes, I guess technically it is possible to have too many t-shirts. I'm just not sure how much I want to actually believe that statement. T-shirts are just my favorite thing. And then I've gotten to the point now where I use wraps or kimonos and dress them up. So it's like, oh, now I'm really in t-shirts all the time. Okay, so while I had the black, I should have done the buttons here. All right, so I've got just a few places I'll probably touch up in just a second. This one on the background, I'm going to use Bahama Blue. I like Bahama Blue a lot, but I think you don't have seasonal shirts. Well, Terry, I could help you with that. It actually depends on if you want to have a lot of seasonal shirts. Yeah, and seasonal shirts that's the crazy part about it. It's like, yes, they're wonderful, but you only have so many weeks to wear these seasonal shirts, and so But it's kind of like Christmas every year because you open the drawer and you go, "Oh, look, I've got this for fall." I only wore it 3 times last year because I have 22 t-shirts. But oh goodness. Yes, ma'am. I know it was a shameless plug. I'm sorry. Oh goodness. All right, so I did not base coat this white. I'm just going to go with the blue. Now the stick arms are going to be brown, so I'm not extremely worried about getting blue on the little stick arms, but I'm trying not to get it all over the stick arms, if that makes sense. The other thing about the ornaments with me holding them, usually I'm covered in paint by the time it's all over with. So, But that's okay. 9 times out of 10, I end up with paint all over my hands or my fingers in some way, shape, or form. It just seems to be the norm for a person who paints, I guess. So I'm working my way around my little snowman. And I probably picked just a little bit too big of a brush. I was trying to make it so that I could cover a lot of ground quickly. And the fun thing about this blue is that you can always come back and add snowflakes, whether you find the little stickers or if you make snowflake dots with like the end of the brush, the handle of the brush. I've got some bigger brushes here. I'll show you. I'm going to do that. Or you could even draw out some snowflakes with one of the paint pens. So the white paint pen, you could draw out some little snowflakes. I may do a variety on this one just to show you the differences of the two that I like to do. When I did this as a door hanger, I actually bought snowflake stickers and actually put the stickers on after I seal coated my door hanger. Now, you may be wondering, well, it's an ornament. Do you seal coat it? Yes, I still seal coat my ornaments, and here's why. 9 times out of 10, ornaments are going to get, even if they're wrapped up, they're going to get put in a box and put up next to other things. and there's a good possibility that they might get scuffed. At least with a little bit of seal coat, even if it's just one coat, even if it just one coat of seal coat on it will, help protect it a little bit. Plus, if while you're decorating the tree or undecorating the tree, you have your favorite beverage and you accidentally spill it. Of course, if it hits the ornament and there's nothing on top of the paint, then the paint is going to be either A, watermarked, if you're lucky, or B, it's going to start washing off and will bleed together. So I just like to do at least a light coat of seal coat on it. And I have a couple of different seal coats that I actually use. I've had some people ask, especially at paint parties, well, what do you put on it? I have used the Rust-Oleum lacquer spray. I don't really do a whole lot with brush on unless it's like the yard art. If it's the bigger size yard art, then I'll use a polyurethane that was recommended to me by a lady in Texas who does lots and lots of yard art. And so the brush on stuff I save for outside stuff. I don't typically use the brush on for door hangers or the bigger outside stuff. Door hangers I spray with either clear coat or lacquer, one of the two. And I've gone back and forth between the two. So to me, they both work really well. I've had door hangers up for months on end in the hot summer. We don't get extremely cold winters in South Alabama. But my house does get some of the north breeze. And so when the north winds blow in the wintertime, sometimes I remember to take my door hanger down. Sometimes it has to fend for itself. So, I've had very good luck with both the lacquer and the clear coat from Rust-Oleum. So I stick to those two. Okay, so I've touched up the black. I've got it a little more even, and I'm going to let that sit for a few minutes. I'm going to go back to my little snowman. And what I'm going to do with him, now that I've got the white on here, and actually, I did it again. Hold that thought one more time. What did I do with that? There it is. What did I do with my paper towel? I need to put it down here. Before I forget, one more time. And I'm just going to turn this brush on end. Because it's too wide for these buttons. So I'm just going to turn it on end and just do the inside of the buttons. Now, I'm not worried if it is not perfectly round because I can straighten it up with my paint pen, or I could leave it and just let it be some, worked buttons, I guess. That works too. Or you could always say it's a little bit cold. Maybe it's rocks. So either way works. I'm trying to pick what I want to do next. I think I'm going to go with the orange, get his nose done, and then I'll move to his scarf because the scarf is actually going to be a couple of layers. So we're just going to put a little orange in there, and I'm going to make his nose bright orange. The last one I did more like a canyon orange where it was a little bit darker. You use Krylon spray. I hear Krylon's good too. I've always just ended up buying Rust-Oleum, but I've heard quite a few people who like Krylon. And I know some folks who have used both. So it's kind of like picking your paint. I have used two different kinds of paint. I've used Apple Barrel. I've used Deco Art. I use Deco Art more. I just like the way it covers better. But there are some colors in Apple Barrel that, even though it may take me a few more coats to cover it, I like the colors. So I have I have a few things in Deco Art and a few things in Apple Barrel that I have done. But Deco Art is probably the I use it more. Let's put it that way. All right, so there's this little orange nose. And I should have done the mouth in black. We'll get that in just a minute. All right, while his nose is drying, that sounds weird. Sounded really weird. Oh my goodness. All right, I am going to actually do this one in 2 steps. So it's all black. But for the moment, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over these little details in gray. And you may be thinking, why in the world are you using gray? Well, if I go straight to white, because white is the ultimate goal here. But if I go straight to white, 9 times out of 10, what's going to happen is I am going to end up putting 50 coats of white trying to get this black covered. So I've discovered there's some in-between colors that you can use. If I have used a dark red or well, the Halloween one was one of them. It was a dark purple. I used buttermilk as my in-between. So I went over the letters in buttermilk, and then I come back and went over it in white. And I only had to put 2 coats of white after I put the coat of buttermilk. So altogether it was 3 coats. But I promise you, if I had put just white, it would have been many, 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 many coats of white. Now, the gray may look a little tedious because probably in the end, what I'm going to do is I am going to use a white paint pen and go over it, and it'll go much faster. But this will be the hardest part because, and all I'm doing is following, coloring inside my etch lines. So etched, you saw before I started with the black paint, I had the etch lines on there. So all I'm doing is staying in my etch lines. And just a tiny round, well, it's not super tiny, but it's a round brush. And so that's all I'm using. I just go over it with the gray. And then I've got a star up here now. On the star, of course, has these points. But like I said, nice thing about the black background is you can always clean up the boo-boos with the black paint marker, paint pen. So yes, I try my best to stay in the lines, but if I get outside the lines, I don't break out into a full-blown sweat. I'm not going to have a panic attack. Because I can always go over it with the black and cover it. Now, I'm not going to add any more detail to this other than I'm painting it. That's all I'm doing. You like the black background? I tell you what, it's so funny because I have sold quite a few of the nativity door hangers that have this black background. And when when it was first shown to me, the original one that was the inspiration for it, I was thinking, black background for the nativity scene. But then I was like, well, you know, hey, it's the night sky. So I was like, all right. So I did the first one and I showed it, took pictures of it after I had basically done my version of it. I showed it, and next thing you know, it's probably, I was trying to think if I have another one that I have done more orders for in the Christmas realm. I don't think so. I think this is the one that I have done the most orders for. Now, this is the part that's kind of tricky. And sometimes I should have grabbed my slightly smaller liner brush. That's what I should have done. Hang on just a second, because I got an itty bitty one here. Oh yeah, this one will be much better. Yep. And like I said, when I go around this with the paint pen over it with the white paint pen, this will go much faster. Whoa. Knocked my brush out of my hand. Got a little paint on the side. That's okay. With it being black, it makes it easy to do touch-ups. Of course, baby wipe always helps. So. Yeah, this brush is much nicer for this smaller, for this lettering here. I actually could do the lettering with this brush in the white, but I want to show it with the paint pen. Like I said, it goes faster that way, so that's what I want to show that. And you may be thinking, well, it looks a little sloppy, Sandy. Well, this is why I talk about cleanup a lot of times. Because what ends up happening is, especially something like this that's smaller, when you get to working on it, once you get the paint pen in, because the paint pen is easier to control than the brush, once you get the paint pen in, then you can bring the black paint pen and you can go around. So I'm going to let that set for just a minute. You know, speaking of paint pen, I'm just going to take the paint pen and do his mouth. It will make it a lot quicker. And I won't have to get another brush to do his mouth with. Ta-da! Now our little snowman's mouth is all done. All right, so he's got his buttons, his nose, his mouth, scarf, and arms are what we have left. So let me go with, you know what, let me go with the arms first. We'll do the arms first. So I just grabbed, this is burnt sienna. This is not traditional burnt sienna. This is burnt sienna. There's actually two, and I think traditional is just a fuzz darker, if memory serves me right. It's just a little bit darker than the burnt sienna. And see, I didn't sweat too much about the blue coming over on his arms because the brown covers it up pretty good. And I end up outlining everything anyway, so I like a lot of things outlined just to give it that breakup point. So I'll have to do another coat, but now he has his happy arms. Yay! I know. I love this little snowman. I think he is so adorable. I have always enjoyed painting him. When I did the door hanger, and I did the tutorial on the door hanger for the paint party box that I did, I had so much fun painting him. He was just, the whole time you're painting him, he's just, his smile is there and it just brightens everything. And so you're like, oh my goodness. I just had a lot of fun with him. I need to hook up my blow dryer. I lost the end to the blow dryer. Well, crud. The plug probably fell behind my table a while ago. I had to unplug some things earlier, so I probably knocked it behind the table. Oh, well. We'll come back to it. Okay, let's see. Well, we'll let him dry for just a few minutes, and what I'll do is I'll start this with the paint pen. Now, I've got a couple of different, I actually have several different sizes of paint pens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this bigger one, and then I'm just going to work my way down from there. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the paint pen and just go over where I have the gray. And I can straighten it up. And then, like I said, the boo-boos I can always cover with the black paint pen. Any of my boo-boos. Now, you may be thinking, are you going to go over that twice? Probably. Most of the time, when I do things with a paint pen, I typically go over them twice, just like I do when I'm painting, just because I want it to have really good coverage. The thing about a paint pen, it dries faster than paint. So that's another reason why I like to use the paint pens on certain projects. Now, if I wanted to do this really detailed, I would probably do a blue or a purple to black sky. And then I would have done brown, of course, yellow for the hay with a little bit of brown underneath. And then, of course, give some color to both Mary and Joseph. But for this ornament, I don't know. I just felt like with the door hanger, I just like it with the silhouette look, with the shadowy look, rather than having, all the colors and all the details. Now, I do have a little bit smaller paint pen that I could have come in and used on this one, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come back with my black paint pen and just clean up around the edges. I know that sounds crazy, but sometimes doing a little bit of touch-up is just faster and easier. And then on the words, all I'm going to do is just trace over them. I may have to prime my paint pen here. I may be losing my paint pen. Oh, this one I should have gotten a smaller one. Hang on, Houston. Let me find my smaller white one. It would be much easier because I'm going to do exactly what I did with that bigger paintbrush. So I may have to paint back over the words here and then start again. Oh, you got the little ice cube trays? I actually just got these this week. When I was looking at them, I questioned the whole, how much paint is this going to hold? Or how am I going to get my brushes into this? And I went ahead and got them because I knew I was going to have some things coming up with the Christmas stuff that I really wanted to be able to save the paint. On, and so I went ahead and got them. So this is actually my first time using them because I know I'm going to have some more to do with ornaments, and so I'm not going to throw out that paint. I'll just put the lid on and keep it till tomorrow when I'm doing some more with ornaments. Okay, so that will need another coat, but you can see how it's looking with the white. And I'm going to bring a smaller black and touch up around the letters and clean those up because I did mess it up by using the bigger paintbrush and the bigger paint pen. So, but we can fix that. Speaking of paint pens, I'm going to take my white paint pen real quick and just go over where I boo-booed on my little snowman here. And then I can always run back with actual, with my paint and my brush if I need to here shortly. All right, now with him, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and do his arms one more time and darken them up. So now I'm ready to move on to the scarf. Now with the scarf, what I'm going to do, and this is my other cheater method. Yes, the white does brighten it up on the black. I really like the way the white pops off of that black. I think that's one reason why that door hanger was actually popular, because the way the white stood out against that black background. And so, I'm like, you can do it one of two ways. You can do it with the white and the black, because I've seen it both ways. And the white's okay, but I don't know. It seems like the black is just the more popular of the two. And it's like you're saying, it kind of pops right off the right off the canvas there, so to speak. And I think people are drawn to, you know, how it stands out. So I did not coat the scarf white. So I am just going with it straight on the wood. Let him sit for a minute and we'll do another coat on him. I actually have got to put another coat on the orange, don't I? What did I do that with? Did I do that? I did that with this one. Let's put another coat on the nose. Get our little snowman's nose all taken care of. Ooh, I glopped a good bit on there that time. That's not good. Get that wiped off and thinned out. Okay, there we go. Like, oh my goodness. All right. Well, like I said, the paint pen, one thing I like about the paint pen is that it dries pretty quick. So I can come back and go over all this again and get it closer to being complete. Now, it's not so much that there's a lot to this one as far as the painting and all that. It's just the steps in this one to get it. But as you can see, I'm not going to sit here and spend half the night doing, I actually was looking for the white to dip in. Good grief. I won't spend half the night putting white coat after white coat after white coat after white coat by going over it in black, gray. Good grief, Sandy. I did have some caffeine before I started this live. Maybe I just should have gone for the coffee caffeine instead of the soft drink. And I could actually use that smaller paint pen on all of these little details. But I know with the manger part, or yeah, with the stable part, it would have been, it would have taken a lot longer. So now all I will do once all of this dries is come back and do just touch-ups to the areas that may seem just a little thin. LOL, Terry's laughing at me. Why are you laughing at me, Terry? What'd I do? What'd I say? Are you laughing at my caffeine stuff? I bet that's what she's laughing at. Actually, I could probably blame my daughter because a while ago she and I were in the van and we were coming back from being off for a little bit, and she started to say something and she's like, my English is not working this afternoon. I think I caught whatever she has. You know, my English is not working tonight. Actually, I don't think it's the English that's the problem. I think it's just the brain. Now I'm looking at these little bitty lines going, yeah, you really should have remembered your glasses. I may have to do a touch-up after the touch-up with my glasses on so that way I can see these little lines. Okay, I've done that one. The words are the last thing. So I switched to the skinnier pen, which is nicer for these letters especially. I wished I would have grabbed it to begin with. Now I wouldn't have to do, I don't think I'd have to do as much cleanup. Because this smaller tip is working really well. It's just hard to see. I can see how it's working because I can see the shine from the paint. I know it's hard for y'all to tell. It looks more like I'm just adding to the blob that I created a little bit ago. But I'm going to clean that up. It'll be all nice and neat. But the smaller tip is much better. Note to self. You know, sometimes it's trial and error. Oh, I was off camera. I'm so sorry. Glasses would help. You were laughing at me about the caffeine. Okay. Oh, goodness. Nope, that's the orange one. All right, where'd my... Nope, you're not it. Nope, you're not it. Where'd you go? Nope. You're for the letters. Is that it? No, that's the orange one. Oh, there you are. Oh, I forgot I'm dipping out of the cap. I have to watch because sometimes I'll go, oh, there's not really that much. And so I just get some in the cap, shake the bottle, and there's enough in the cap that I can use. But the problem with that is that if I'm not careful, I will end up bumping the bottle. And I have come very, very close to having a catastrophe because there's no lid on the bottle. But my thinking is, hey, it's just so easy just to get just a little bit of paint and then I'm not wasting any, you know, because like everything else, paint costs money and I don't like to waste money. I don't know many people who do like to waste money. Oh, you have to take your glasses off to see up close? Okay, I'm the reverse. It's funny because I am nearsighted, but the really close up has gotten really, really blurry the last few years. So now I have to have glasses to see far away and I have to have glasses to see really close. So I'm like, am I still nearsighted? I actually asked my eye doctor that. So am I still nearsighted? He's like, oh, yes. I'm like, but I can't see anything near. He's like, no, you're still nearsighted. I'm like, great. I can't win. Bifocal time. I wear contacts a lot, and so the reading glasses were just the addition without having to actually, you know, go the whole bifocal route. So I kind of cheated that a little bit. And then I grabbed, like I said, I've got reading glasses, so that's the equivalent, but that's what I use whenever I'm doing things up close. All right, so now I've done this Santa red. And so now what I'm doing is I'm just coming back with a crimson color. And this is not going to be a, you know, major fuss over this. I'm just drawing some lines on his scarf in the darker color. So see how we've got darker stripes? That's all I'm doing. I'm not fussing over these lines. I'm just making just some lines. If they touch all the way, top and bottom, they do. And if they don't, it's okay. Now for the part of the scarf that comes down here, I'm changing the lines, and that's going to make it easier to notice that, hey, there's a difference in the scarf here. I got my hand the wrong way, so my lines are actually thicker coming across the scarf, but that's okay. So now we have little lines, stripes on his scarf. Yay! All right, Mr. Snowman, you are almost done. And as far as my nativity goes, I just have to do my cleanup. And there's a few little places where you can still see just a little bit of the darker color coming through. So all I'm going to do is take my white and I'll just touch back up over those places. Rather than going over the entire thing again, I'll just do a little bit here and a little bit there. We're getting older every day, unfortunately. Oh my goodness. That is true for everyone every day. No one gets excluded. Oh, that's just gray. That's not what I want. What do I do with that? Oh, here it is. It's like, I know I got silver. All right, I'm going to do the same thing here. This part is not very big. So I'm just going to use right out of the cap. Y'all get to see all my crazy habits tonight. You know, dipping out of the cap. I like the metallic on the tops of the ornaments. I like the way it kind of shimmers. Silver. What color do I use for silver? Okay, so it's Deco Art. It's metallic. So it's dazzling metallic. And I have silver, and I actually have two colors in gold. Oh, this one is a sheen. It's the metallic paint, but this is actually extreme sheen. So I usually end up putting a color under this somewhere along the way. And then the other metallic that I have is the metallic gold. This one is glorious gold. This one is a champagne gold. I will put this one over, I've used it over yellow before. And I've used the glorious gold over a yellow before, but they were two different yellows. This one I used, I want to say a lighter yellow. And this one I went with more of a sunshine yellow. I think this one I actually, and you can see it's not really it's not a bright gold. The metallics are not with the regular colors, especially if in the main craft stores, the main hobby store. It's not in with the rest of the Deco Art colors. It's kind of to the right a little bit on a separate shelf, or at least that's the way it is in the two stores that we have here in the Mobile area. You have to walk a little further past your basic colors to find the pearls, the neons, the metallics, and there's something else over there that they have. Pearls, neons, metallics. I'm drawing a blank on what the others are. I know they have the sheens over there as well, because there's quite a few sheens, but there's one more over there, and for the life of me, I can't think of it right now. That's almost dry. But that's where they are. You can usually find them just past the regular stand of colors. And you'll have metallic. There's quite a few of the metallics. I was running out of white and black. And so I put an order into Deco Art, and I actually got I don't know, Terry, if you saw the sleigh that was done. Was it last week? Maybe it's week before last, where the rust kit was used, the rust pack from Deco Art. I actually have ordered one of that rusted metal, and so I'm gonna try it on some things, and so I'm excited to get that in the mail, as well as the white and the black, because I'm running out of white paint. What did I get all over that? It may be gold. Not gold, it may be silver. I may have flicked silver onto there. Hey, that's pretty cool. Maybe I'll, okay, you know what? Put that down. Stick to the plan. I am going to do stars right now. Oh my goodness. I'm going to do stars right now. All right, now stars. You can do a variety of stars. I grabbed kind of a, it's not a huge flat tip brush. It's kind of medium. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dip it in the white. Just dip it in my white paint and then just touch just around and give it a few extra stars here and there. And then I could actually come back, get the paint off the end of that one with a smaller. So here is a much smaller, this is a round brush. So see, it's round, smaller end. Just dab the white. And then hit a few smaller distant stars. And then, of course, as the paint comes off or wears down, your stars can be even smaller. You can also do this with a paint pen. I've done it with a paint pen. I messed up that star. How in the world do you mess up a dot? It's because I'm on the edge. That's how I messed it up. I know exactly what I did to mess that up. But what fun is life if you can't laugh at yourself every now and then? Now, on the little snowman here, what I'm going to do, we'll leave that one sit for just a minute. On this one, whoops, wrong one. I need the really skinny paint pen. So what I'm going to do on this one, I'm just going to make little snowflakes. So I'm going to make an X. And then I'm going to come across with a bigger line top to bottom and a bigger line side to side. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and just kind of twirl my paint pen around at the end of each one and make a dot. You can also use the end of a brush and make the dots if you want them a little bigger than what the paint pen does. So I'll just add a few little snowflakes, and they can be different sizes. Maybe this one's a little smaller. And again, all I'm doing is just touching the end of each one, make a little dot. So just a couple of snowflakes here and a couple of snowflakes on this side. And you can put one by his nose. And like I said, every snowflake can be a different size. You can make a teeny tiny one. You just have to be careful with the tinier you get, especially with the paint pen. Just remember that you're going to be getting really, really close to all the lines running into each other. So there's a teeny tiny one. And then we'll do one more. Oh, let's do one more out here. And I'm going to make him a little bit bigger. Since I've been working my way smaller, Let's do a little bigger. And for the bigger ones, I could grab my bigger paint pen and actually do the dots with the bigger paint pen. And that would actually help too. So there's my little snowflakes with my snowman. Now, what I have left to do with him is just simply outline him, and he'll be completely done. This one, I do have some touch-up work to do, and I do want to take my white paint pen and just fill in a few little places. And I'll show you up close. You can see just right up in here, there's a little bit of dark still there. Right here on the manger, there's a few little place right there in the middle of the star. And all I do is just do a little touch up with the white paint pen, and then and that one will be finished. So that was fairly easy. Even though it's only 2 colors, I do a few steps on this one just so the white will actually pop out pretty good. And then with our little snowman, like I said, the main thing with him is just you know, the colors are not hard. The main thing with him is just getting all the colors smoothed out on him, and then of course deciding whether you want to add some snowflakes, and you could do snowflakes like we did the stars if you didn't want to go through the process of creating the X's. You could actually just take the end of a paintbrush and dot it the same way we did our stars here. And if you didn't want to use white for the stars on the nativity, you could use silver, because undoubtedly I flicked my brush when I was painting this and got silver splatter on the nativity, which I'm not going to change because I really kind of like the way it looks. So I'm just going to leave it there. It's not really bold. It's kind of in the background. And so I'm like, well, matter of fact, I may come back and just go over the white dots with silver and let them be silver stars. So it would be just a little bit of difference. Just depends on if you wanted all white or if you wanted to have a small variation in your color scheme. So all I'm doing is going over my lines for my little snowman. And I am using the smaller paint pen for this. This is the 3M. 5 is typically my favorite. I like the 5. I use it a lot. And then the 7, I use a good bit on like borders going around my big door hangers. Happy little accidents. I saw that, Terry. Yep. My silver background stars was a happy little accident. And you know what? I kind of like it, so I think I'm going to keep it, and I may enhance on it. Oh, my little snowman is almost finished. So get around his little stick hand here. I am not going to go around the snowflakes. All I'm going to do is go around the snowman. Whoop, let me turn him around. All I'm going to do is go around the snowman. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a line there to separate that. And then let me turn it up so you can actually see it. And then I'm just going to bring up a few. Bring this across. And do a few lines there. So that way it looks like the top of the ornament. I like the silver a lot. I like the silver a lot. I wish now I had actually done, I guess because I've done the door hanger in white so many times, I've never really thought about silver. But, and I may not do all the stars in silver. I may just touch a few of them in silver and have silver and white. I think that would be really, really cool. So there's our happy little snowman ornament. Now I'm going to have that song stuck in my head. And then this one, I'm not going to do all the touch-up work on camera. I'll do it off camera, and then I'll post pictures of this one once I've finished, because it'll take a little time for me to do the cleanup. I'm going to go get my glasses, so it won't take as long, but it will take me a few minutes. And you watched me paint it. I won't make you sit through the cleanup and fixing process. You know, because sometimes you have to do that at the end of the day. When you finish up a door hanger or a painting, you look at it and go, oh, man. So sometimes there's a little cleanup and a little straightening up to do. So I do that not as often as I did when I first started, but, you know, I'm not perfect. And so I still have touch-ups sometimes. And even after I think I'm finished, lo and behold, bless goodness, I will touch something or bump something, and then I have to do a repair, as I call it. So, you know, hey, we're not perfect. Our creations are not perfect, but that's what makes them special, because they are a part of us and they express what we are, both personality and inwardly. So I have fun painting, and I enjoy, even when I do my mistakes, even though I may fuss when I make them, I just like putting the silver on this one. I'm like, oh, wow. So now we may have a variation to the nativity scene door hanger from now on. I enjoyed hanging out with you, Terry. Thanks so much for coming by tonight. I hope you have a super week, and I am going to be working on some more Christmas door hangers, so look for those to get posted this week. I do have a few fall. I'll post those as well, even though we're kind of winding that down. So kind of officially after Halloween, everything transitions to Christmas, and the focus is all on Christmas, even though we still have Thanksgiving. So, but anyway, I'll be posting pictures of those as I get to them and work on them this week. But y'all have a great night and have a great week, and I'll see you next time.